Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad to hear this Tuesday morning, October 25th. We're right around the corner from Halloween. My favorite Halloween joke. Well, I'll tell you when we get close to Halloween what I always do in my classes. But let's move on with today's show. Brought to us, our weather brought to us by Drew Pollard's company, Gulf Coast Air Conditioning, taking care of everyday comfort needs. And has it been comfortable and nice and beautiful fall weather here in the Florida Panhandle? Yes, it has. High today 81, low 61. Water temperature 73 degrees. Take a look at our river reads brought to us by Mountain Dew. Get out and do. The Apalachicola Bluntstown 2.8, and the river is right. The Choctawhatchee at Caraville 1.6, and I'll go and tell you this, I went across both rivers over the weekend, last couple of days. The upper end of the Choctawhatchee River, you literally can walk across it around the bridges and all. It was just really fascinating to see how low it was. And of course, the Apalachicola, I went across it a couple of times, and it's low, but it's still muddy. It's always muddy. It's not a clear river, never has been, and of course never will be. We're coming back down from the red clay hills of Georgia and all, but it's really a beautiful river, and the foliage, the leaves are changing along the rivers, up in the swamps and all. Beautiful time. It's not as beautiful as up in Tennessee, North Carolina, and North Georgia, but it's still beautiful here. I was also going to mention this beautiful weather. Make sure that you're on car washes. I washed Gail's car Sunday afternoon. It was so beautiful and all that. I got to thinking, I hope most of y'all are still washing your cars. I know we have car washes, it's very convenient and all, but there's something about washing your own car, especially this kind of weather. There are times you have to use a car wash with the weather and heat and all, but man, washing your car in the fall, or especially your truck. I hope you guys are washing your own truck still, but it's just a lot of fun doing, great exercise, and it's just enjoyable doing it. So hope y'all still doing that. I know nothing against car washes. We've had them a long time, but it's just something that outdoors people, I think, should be washing their own vehicles if you can. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's get caught up on our pictures. We've got a guest coming in the next couple of days, so let's look at some pictures today. Bobby Smith is famous for catching 50,000 bass, but he's also a good fisherman. His wife, Sarah sent this: thankful, grateful, and blessed. Bobby is a good fisherman, and I know that is some good eating there. He releases all his bass, but I think he obviously keeps his grouper, and for good reason. Bobby Smith, if y'all see Bobby in the next little while, tell him to give me a call. We've got to get him back on the show, see what number he's at. Bill and Bill went down on the riverboat for the weekend. I have not talked to them. I did see this picture of Bill Shields, and it was a beautiful day, a couple of days on the houseboat. It was Bill and Bill. I don't know if I was invited, but I had a previous commitment, but look what I missed. Good job, Bill Shields. We'll get them to come on pretty soon and do a Bill and Bill show and talk about it. There is on another one. Look at him. He's happy. Bill Shields and Bill Allen on the trip. Ben McConaughey. Okay, Smokey got me. Got to keep the winches high. I may have showed this. Ben McConaughey, he played basketball for us at Motor a good while back. He's about 6'8", and I was thinking he don't need to let the feeder down too much. He can reach most of them, but that's the thing about the Bears. You see that corn, they know where that corn is, and everybody's talking about seeing the Bears. Now, I haven't received that many reports as of yet with the Bears. And these are some young ones now. Okay, moving on. Brittany Gale Erdman was in my class. Here she is with her dad, and they got this big buck, the biggest one she's ever gotten, with a bow, a new crossbow. And there you go, right there, Brittany. Great job. With Brittany and Brandon. Okay. This is really cool. Loretta Sowell sent this to me. Sunset Tuesday evening at the historical Keith Cabin in northern Holmes County on Highway 179. This is also at a Keith Cabin. That cabin was built in 1886 in the northern part of Holmes County. Is that not cool? You just don't see that kind of a That's amazing for it still to be around. Thank you, Loretta, for sharing that with us. Really nice, beautiful nature right there. The Keith Cabin, 1886. When the sun comes up, opening morning on public land. And this is what it's going to be on public land because we get more and more people in the woods and on the water. Just be careful out there and put your cell phone up. Benefits of fishing, again, I've talked about this before, I want to go over it again. Decrease in stress and anxiety. 2, it creates social bonds. 3, burns calories. 4, improves self-esteem, if you're catching them. 5, boosts the economy. 6, contributes to conservation. 7, improves balance and coordination. 8, teaches patience and appreciation. 9, makes memories. And 10, trains your mind to focus. The benefits of fishing. I feel stronger than that. I'm going to put that on every now and then. Okay, Ricky Green, played ball for us. He lives up in Kentucky now. Hey, Winston, my 10-month-old Brittany is well on his way to becoming a great bird dog. And good old shotgun still works also. Ricky is a consummate bird hunter and has been for a long time. And here are the pictures right here. That's a 10-month-old. He trains the dog well, and that one's 10 months old, so I know that one's in great shape. Great turkey hunter. And there's a old gun still shooting. Good job, Ricky Green. Thanks for tuning in up there in Kentucky. Okay, that's going to catch us up with pictures. You know, pheasant hunting and quail hunting, fall hunting is really strong right now for those kind of things if they're in season. So as the temperature cools down like it is now, it's just really good to get out. And especially the young dogs in this time of year. And then you start them now, get them experience now, and then after Christmas in February, March, you'll be amazed if you get them out in the field. I used to work a lot with dogs, so I know what I'm talking about. You train them, work with them all during the summer, and in the fall, just get them out in the woods a little bit, and then dead winter, December and all, you bring them back and keep working on stuff. And when you take them back out in the springtime during quail season, they improve. They go from like 1st grade to 8th grade in that period of time. I've seen it happen before, so I imagine that's what Ricky Green is doing right there. All right, let's take a break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. I've got a little notice here on my phone, of course, from up in Lake Seminole. Jackie Cargo sent this. Sunday they're having a Bassmaster tournament up there. I'm sorry, not Bassmasters, a youth state tournament. It's at the old Wingate Lodge. It's called At Ease now, at Ease Landing, and it's going to be the Quincy Junior and Senior High School Bassmasters at the old Wingate. If you're interested, it'll be this Sunday. Check on that website and all. All right, let's get to some pictures. We're always talking about peanuts this time of the year, and Danny Joe and Candace Trent sent me some pictures. Only 4 pictures, but it speaks volumes. I'm going to show you a little series of pictures he sent. Okay, here it is. Here's right here. They're all planted. I love it because, of course, you notice way back in there, you see the deer stand condo back up in there. So that's obviously, I bet they've got some nice deer. This up in northern Holmes County. So anyway, they got them up. Okay, they're getting the tractor out. And the next step is they're harvesting them up. You see them pulling them. Folks, people used to do that years ago. They'd pull them by hand before we had tractors and plows. Okay, and then what do you have? You got a big old, you wash them out. Those are healthy peanuts. You can just look at that and tell those are healthy peanuts right there. And then you have that, and then put them in the pot. And you talking, I can almost taste those right now. And you let them sit in the pot a little bit, and just get them while they're still warm. Thank you so much, Candy, for sending that to me. That sort of typifies the whole thing in a nutshell, as far as you know, the peanut crop. That's happened all throughout the Florida Panhandle. Some people are doing it right now, wrapping it up. Some did it a month ago, and it's been pretty dry. So, and that's so important to wildlife because the dove and the quail, the deer, and everything else in between will be chewing down on the roots and the leaves and all that. So, big deal. I also want to mention. Pompano was still caught this past weekend, which doesn't surprise me. It's still October, but it's been, I think I've had more reports on pompano being caught this fall than I have in a very long time. It's been an excellent fall run. I just want to throw that in. One of the reasons A lot more people are pompano fishing now, and then you have social media. So, but even before we had social media, I would be pompano fishing. Never see anybody in especially October, springtime you see them, but you hardly ever saw anybody fishing a fall run. Now, everywhere you go, there's some folks out there, and most of them are not experienced at it, but they're giving it a try. So, the pompano run has been good. The peer reports on the king of Spanish has not been all that good. Okay. We've been talking about cutting firewood and how important it is now to cut it and let it dry out before the hard winter gets here in January and February. I was looking up some information last night. What's the best firewood to cut? So here, this is just according to one source I found. They categorize them in the heat energy equivalent of 200 to 250 gallons of fuel. So these include the following. These are in alphabetical order. So apple, beech, and you can go all the way down. Okay, white ash, white oak. So those hardwoods right there. Of course, we don't have the much of the ironwood up here. I don't know exactly what ironwood is, but the oak is what we get a lot of down here. Okay. All right. The next category. There's 3 categories. The next category. These are 150 to 200 gallons of fuel. Again, cherry, fir, elm, maple, and tamarack and birch, and we have some birch. In fact, I have burned some birch before, some river birch. Okay, in the third category, the last category, the lowest energy category, what would affect us would be the cedar. Okay, right there, the third one, cedar, cottonwood, and then down toward the bottom, pine. Now that's talking about green pine, you know, just being cut because it has so much moisture in it, and then redwood. We don't have any redwoods anyway. And spruce, okay? But anyway, just make sure, at the bottom line, make sure the wood is dry and let it dry out. The thing about the pine tree, as you know, when you cut it and let it lay down, it starts losing that moisture and all, then it becomes lighter. We've talked about that many times here on the show. That's one of the highest heat content there is, but that's after it's sort of cured, okay? So speaking of winter coming on, I was looking up, you remember last week when it turned so cold and everybody was talking about they were freezing? I was looking up some signs for winter, and I love running across different information. What does nature tell us about when winter is coming on? So I found it was 20 things. I didn't include all 20 of them, but so these are interesting. Number one, your corn has a thicker than normal husk. Okay, see the husk is a little thicker. We're talking about local corn. Okay, another thing, another sign: woodpeckers sharing a tree. Now, I don't know if y'all see this kind of stuff. I don't see a lot. I see a lot of woodpeckers, but I don't see a lot of them sharing because usually when one flies up, the other one's going to fly away. But now they're sharing, and you wonder what they're talking about. Of course, the early departure of geese. In our situation, would be the early arrival of geese and ducks. And I've always been able to check it. Of course, it's too early here for that. And monarch butterflies, we've seen a good many of those this fall. It's been a really good migration as far as I have seen, okay? Thick hair on the nape of a cow's neck. I don't know if y'all check that on a regular basis if you have your cows, but that's something you might want to do and see what kind of winter we have coming up. This is funny. Raccoons with thick tails and bright bands. There's a lot to be said about the thickness of an animal's fur, according with the winter and all, because that's really what keeps them warm. But I thought that was a good picture. The raccoons I catch, and y'all know about those, they don't look that sort of young and spry. And I mean, they just, that looks like a healthy one there. How about, I don't know if you have this problem. Mice chewing fiercely to get into your home. Okay, I hope you don't have that problem there. That's early winter. The early arrival of crickets on the hearth. I don't know about that one either. I don't have that many crickets. How about spiders spinning larger than usual webs and entering the house in great numbers? There's something to that on the wood spiders around here. I know recently I saw a lot of wood spiders. Now I don't know, number 12, pigs gathering sticks. I just don't know what to say about that. They look like they've been eating more sticks. That's some healthy pigs right there. How about ants marching in a line rather than meandering? And I think that's all, to me, that's all according to food they're headed after. Early seclusion of bees within the hive. Now you beekeepers, Kurt Davis and some of you folks, y'all can tell that because that could be a nature sign right there. unusual abundance of acorns, and we talk about that a lot. And it's been a good crop. We've had an abundance here, so I don't know if we're going to have a bad one or not. How about squirrels gathering nuts early? Okay, I don't know how early that is, but that's some of the signs. There were like 20 signs. I just picked out about 12, 15 signs that we may be having a very hard winter coming up. So it's in different parts of the country. So we don't have any, we got some rain, a little bit of rain coming, but right now we haven't had any hard winters in a while. So check your own nature signs in yours. Some of those will be applicable to here. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a look at our fishing game time today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. We're looking at 11:42 to 1:42, only one time today. And you know, just getting out on your boat for the weekend, fishing or whatever, big one, friends, whatever, just a lot of fun, all kind of things you run into. Ivan Beach, Ivan's the principal at Bozeman High School, or Bozeman School, and he was out in the water over the weekend, and he and his family saw this manatee. So let's see if we can get this show to you. I'm gonna let it run. This is a manatee. Check this out, right here right off Shell Island. Is that cool? I'm gonna play it again. Okay, so that is a big, healthy manatee. But look how pure and clear the water is. Okay, that's good. That's the thing about just being out there. You just never know what you're going to see. And Ivan Beach, I'll tell them. I know a lot of Bozeman folks watch the show, so tell your principal that you saw his manatee that he took a picture of, and it's really good stuff and all. Also, one more picture. Michael Clark over in Freeport. Got a lot of folks over in Freeport. Michael Clark, just stay blessed and God is good. Just one of these beautiful sunrises, and it's just special. And you know, taking these sunrises in and sunsets in, and this time of year it seems to be more spectacular. Now I do want to mention we were at a class reunion. Gal and I were this past Saturday night. Just had a ball, but you know, seeing the folks you grew up with, and they were twins, Ed and Al Popple. They were my brother's closest friends, and Al did not show up at the reunion. I asked Ed, I said, "Where's Al?" And he said he has Lyme disease. And we talk about it, and Al is a surveyor, so he's constantly out there in the woods and all. And Ed said, "Winston, he's just not doing well. He's lost like 30-something pounds. He wasn't a real big guy. He lost like 30-something pounds with Lyme disease." So I bring this up to tell you, to share it with you. You know, we'll always try to stay on top of things and learn from other folks doing things. But ticks, if you know, this time of year, so many of us get out there and walking through the woods, and you know, and you know what I'm talking about. And we're so prone to get ticks on us. So you know, when you do that, just get those ticks off as soon as you can. So I just wanted, as an outdoor tip, whatever, especially this time of year. But that's a first-hand experience from some good friends from mine since we've known since elementary school. So anyway, speedy recovery, Al, and Al and Ed Popple. Okay, let's move on. What I want to talk about tips and all about different things to do is we're winding up fall fishing. I was talking about a pompano earlier. One of the tips, and I've just thought about doing this for a good while now, and I haven't done it, but you know, we're talking about the fish bites that we fish with for pompano, those strips, those bubblegum looking strips. What happens, you know, they're in a package and all, but as the season ends, we want to keep them fresh. And I've thought about this, and I know other people thought about it too. I don't want to claim this is my single idea, but if you can actually take some of the, it's going to dry out over the winter. If they stay in that package, they're going to dry out. And when they dry out, they're going to lose the scent. So take them out of there, put them in make you up some kind of mixture, some kind of brine with shrimp in it. And you know how strong that is. And anything, a pickle, you know, something like that, that smell is what brings those pompano in. It really is. The color is important too, but that smell, when they bounce around the bottom, that smell is what attracts them. So put all that stuff together, and just have a section in your fishing area, and seal it up, and just keep it in there. Some folks freeze it. You could freeze it if you need to. If your wife will let you use the corner of the freezer, but you gotta be careful with that. But any kind of shrimp mixture, anything like that, and salt, you know, anything that will help preserve it. So I know little things like that, a little odd and anything we do as an outdoorsman. just, you know, you have more pride. Like next spring when they come out, you're gonna pull those things out. They're gonna be smelling and all. It's gonna be, you're gonna cut them up in pieces and chunk them out there. And when you catch that pompano, say, what I did this winter worked. So you make up your own mixture. If I was gonna do it, I would get some. I'd go down to Tarpon Dock Seafood, just get some of the leftover shrimp, just crushed up and all, and try to get some juice and all out of that. You know, and crush them up, and then I'll even leave some of the shrimp head stuff in there and freeze them like that. So it's just something you might want to try. If you have any outdoor tips or something, and some of y'all have been really good about sending in tips on different things you do and how you approach things, but it's always good to get those tips that local people do have done for years and all, and also new things that we can try like that. So gonna wrap it up. Like I said, we'll have some guests coming in the next couple of days, and we'll be we're about a week away from November. All kinds of things are going on. So wrap up your October with some beautiful weather. Got a little bit of rain coming in, but we'll get through that. I'll do something good today for fellow man. You have a great day. Enjoy our beautiful outdoors, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.